Hi, my name is Emily Renfrew. I am 22 years old. I'm from Glasgow.
Yeah. So you've listened to some of these, so you know
Yeah.
the first question, presumably, but what's your earliest memory?
So I have two.
Mm.
One of them I'm like kind of like scared that it's been like tainted by like seeing like cameras and stuff, but one of them is probably so I'm a twin. I have a twin brother, and I have a really weird memory, which I think is when I was about 1.5, of being outside in the summertime and fighting over like a sink bucket of like water. Like us being like both in the water and like trying to fight over who has like this bucket. And then the other memory, which I think is like more probably an accurate one, because I think I've like seen this on like a videotape.
Yeah.
But the other one is probably at my 3rd birthday party.
Aww.
We had like a joint party, and like all of our like cousins and friends came, and it was in like a child's soft play area, and it was like called Marco Bear. Like I don't know why. And then like so the memory I have is like being like really scared about this like bear coming out and like bringing her like birthday cake.
Yeah.
And like I remember like sitting on my mum's knee, and like my brother was too scared to even go near the bear. But like I remember like sitting on my mum's knee, like cowering away from this really big huge bear. But that's like I think that's like my first memories. So
That's so cute. What kind of person was little Emily? Like elementary age or
like baby Emily?
Or baby Emily. Yeah, whatever.
So yeah, like baby Emily was like kind of funny because like she was really quiet, like kind of like golden child quiet, but like my brother was the one that would do all the talking. Like he would like answer for me. He'd be like, "No, Mum, Emily doesn't want any biscuits," like that sort of thing. And like Emily like was the one that was very obviously in control but did no talking. So it was like Lewis was the voice, and he was the kind of like he was interactive, but Emily was like really held all the power, and like
I love that.
Yeah, but like it changed a lot, like from like kind of maybe like Lewis started to get a lot smarter, and like he would be like he'd start like he'd like start manipulating me sort of. Like so he'd be like one of the really funny things that he did was like he like invented this imaginary friend who would like kind of like make me sort of, I don't know, like do things like so like gradually like he kind of like became more in control as we got older. But yeah, I was kind of nice and quiet and just a very sort of like easy to please baby and stuff.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Growing up with your brother as a twin, what kind of sibling were you to him, and then like what kind of relationship did you have?
So
was it that stereotypical like twin bond, or
well, it's kind of like gradually changed. It's always it's kind of still changing, to be honest.
Oh yeah, sure.
But like when we were younger, we were very dependent on one of like each other and stuff, and like my parents didn't want to like separate us at school. And like my brother was like, he was very loud and chatty and everything, but he always had to make sure that I was like in the room, like so he was like always checking out, like I was still around, like as a sort of like kind of like, I don't know, comfort thing. But then so I'd say we were pretty good friends up until maybe like maybe like age 9 or something, or 10, and then we used to fight, like like fight a lot.
What do you think happened then? Was it just like
I think it was maybe just like kind of like realizing that like we were kind of like like kind of fighting for our parents' attention sort of, and like realizing that you have to like share like everything, like it kind of it causes problems. And yeah, I don't know, maybe just like kind of realizing that like there's like someone else to kind of like, I don't know, like, ruin what you planned for the day or stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And also, if you're the same age, it's not as if, like, someone can really step back and be like, oh, like, I'm mature, I'm gonna, like, let my little sister or brother, like, have this, but no. So.
Or your parents can't go to them and be like, hey, you're the older person.
Yeah, like,
like, let them have this. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's when it all started going wrong. But yeah.
What was it like competitive between? Did you ever feel kind of the
pressure?
Competition. Competition.
Yeah, like competition has been like a really big part of my life. In a way, like I'm really like kind of thankful for it because even though it was really hard at the time, like I haven't probably told you much about my brother, but he's very, very intelligent. Mm-hmm. Like even like a lot more intelligent than me. Like you have no idea. And like I kind of felt always that I was always being compared to him, even though we were very different, like obviously in looks and stuff. But like at school, I had the reputation of being the kind of like less smart Renfrew twin. So I pushed myself a lot harder, I would say, to get where I want to be. Like Lewis, like he was very lucky in that like kind of academics and all of that just kind of came very naturally to him. But me, I had to like work if I wanted to like let the kind of like try and like boost my thing. So yeah, I mean I tried really, really hard, but at the time it was really hard on me because it was like I felt like no matter how hard I tried, I would never reach. Like, so it was difficult, but I mean, I'm thankful because I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for him. So, but yeah.
Have you ever kind of gotten out of that comparison bubble, or do you still feel it today?
Well, strangely, actually, I don't feel it half as much as I used to feel it because at school, like, growing up with, like, I grew up pretty much, my mum and dad chose not to separate us when we were in primary school. And
is it common to separate?
It's very common for twins to separate.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's the schools actually advise it. Because it's like, they'll grow as a person and they won't rely on their brother to kind of, like, get them out of their shell and stuff. But my mum and dad realised they were, I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but they were like, they want to be together and Lewis won't be as like competent without her, so they kind of decided that they wanted us to be in the same class. So it was kind of more, it wasn't really a thing, like we weren't really that compared in primary school because we were both quite intelligent and stuff, but Lewis was like very like gifted, kind of like in the gifted barrier. So it wasn't really a thing, and like when you're young like that, I don't think I really like cared very much.
Not as
like
conscious
I wasn't really bothered about being the smartest, or like I just wasn't bothered. And then when it came to high school, like I don't know if they do this in the States, but in the UK they like stream you, so it's like depending on like what level of your ability you're like put into like a higher class. Things. So Liz and I were both like quite intelligent, so we were always put in the same class. So that was like a sort of like well, the first 3 years of high school they don't do that. It's very sort of like neutral, and then when it gets to like exams they put you in the same class. So I'd had like 3 years of not being compared and then 3 years of like being in the same class.
Transition's quite abrupt too.
So that was when I felt probably most of the pressure, kind of, because it was like, oh no, like back where and then and like we chose very much like similar subjects, even though we don't do anything now. Like in high school I was very sciencey, and so I like chose the same subjects, and there were actually like classes where I'd sit right next to him and stuff like that, which is like weird. So I guess people would naturally compare you if you're in the same class, but so
talking a bit more about like where you grew up, how do you, or you can just kind of describe it, and then how do you think it's kind of shaped your identity? What part of Glasgow did
I'm
you grow
from northeast Glasgow. I live in a very small little like suburban town just outside Glasgow, and it's very, it's very normal, I would say. It's like very sort of like not much happens there, and it's very sort of like sheltered from like the kind of hustle and bustle of like the city, really. Growing up, like, I think it made me very sort of naive, like, in a way, because I was kind of, like, not really aware of, like, danger or like, anything like that, because it was just so, like, safe, and, like,
Yeah.
it was, like, kind of just didn't think that anything really bad would ever happen there.
Yeah.
It was just this little safe haven where there's, like, parks and youth clubs and, like,
Yeah.
a sports centre. It was just, like, very sort of, like, just didn't really know about what was outside of there. Because until I was maybe about 14 or something, I didn't really, like, travel out of there very much.
Yeah.
I just kind of stayed there. But yeah, I mean, in coming to St Andrews, I mean, I kind of, like, it was kind of a bit of an eye-opener, because it was like, oh, maybe there wasn't so safe, because St Andrews is, like, even, like,
safer.
more so. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, like, I don't know. It was a really good place to grow up, like, don't get me wrong. But it was kind of, like, boring in a sense for, like, a young person to really, like, explore, and just sort of, like, I always felt that it was just the same, like, the same old. I mean, it's pretty much like that here now, but, like, it was just, everything was so close and so easy, and I live, like, in the country and also in the city, sort of, like, it's, like, equidistant from, like, the, like, Scottish hills, and then, like, Glasgow, like, right in the middle of Glasgow, so, it was really nice, because it's, like, not many people can say that they can, like, jump on a train and be in, like, just the city, or just go, like, walking and be in the hills, so it was kind of really nice from that point of view. But yeah.
Nice. More about kind of, like, your growing up. Kind of. But what kind of characteristics of your parents do you see in yourself? And maybe your twin too. And
well,
sorry, your twin. He has a name.
Lewis.
Sorry, Lewis.
So Lewis and I are similar in a lot of ways, but also very different in a lot of ways. We're both, like, quite sort of, I would say, sharp, maybe, like, kind of, like, sharp, but in different ways. Lewis does physics at Glasgow University, and I obviously do Spanish. But, like, we're both very sort of, like, I would say, like, kind of, like, on the same wavelength, I guess. Even though we do completely different things. We have a lot of very similar interests, like music and jokes. Like, we have the same sense of humour, which is really nice, because it's, like, he'll send me something and I'll be, like, rolling over laughing at it, and, like, it's kind of nice. And, like, Lewis is really funny, because he says that I'm basically, like, I can read his mind, but I don't think I can. But, like, when we were, like, in the past and stuff, like, Lewis, like, would always be, like, he'd think of, like, a song in his head, and then, like, I would say the song out loud, and he'd be like, like, oh my god, like, is that, and
telepathy?
Like, that's what he said it was, but I was like, I have no idea if you're lying to me, like, you could be completely saying, like, a completely different song, and I'd be like, but we're also very different. Lewis is very opinionated. I would say I'm opinionated, but I'm not the type that would, like, if someone came and had a different opinion with me, I wouldn't, like, kind of confront them and, like, back it out straight away. Lewis, like, would. He would, like, have an argument, so, like, he'd won the argument, sort of.
Does that kind of come from either one of your parents, do you think?
It definitely comes from my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, definitely. My dad's very, very opinionated, and him and Lewis, like, argue constantly, because Lewis thinks of himself as a very sort of liberal, like, open-minded, like, kind of all-accepting kind of person, and my dad's, like, a very, like, you have to be, like, a very sort of in the box to kind of fit what he wants, so they just, like, it's like, just don't ever really see eye to eye and argue all the time. But I guess that keeps things interesting in the house. I'd say we're different in ways that my brother, he always used to be quite shy, but now he's kind of confident, I guess. Confidence for me has always been a bit of a internal battle. But yeah, he's grown a lot as a person through like, university and stuff, and kind of came like more out of his shell. And I'd say we don't really look alike or anything like physically. We have the same nose and eyes. It's weird, but yeah, we don't really look that similar. Lewis is probably more like my mum, and I'm probably more like my dad in a sense. I mean, me and my mum, we have a very strange relationship, I would say, because my mum's like, she's very sort of stereotypical Glaswegian woman. Like she,
what does that mean?
She like she's very nosy. Like she's in everyone's business all the time. Like, and she likes to think she's really like glamorous and like, I mean she is, but like she likes people to know that she thinks this. And she's very sort of she likes to keep everyone happy. Like she's kind of like, she likes an easy life, so she like kind of like, she won't really say if she's really bothered by something and things like that. And me and my mum are completely different people. Like it's kind of funny. Like she like, we're just so different. Like in every way possible. Like,
does it make it hard to connect with her, or is the difference kind of nice so you have like a different point of view? And
it's actually really strange. Like I used to probably say that I had the best relationship with my mum out of both of my parents. Because I felt like, like as a youngster, I felt like I could go to her for anything, and she could give me advice and stuff like that and be really nice. But then I found out that she was telling all of my like queries and like personal stuff to her friends. So I was like, you betrayed me. Like, why would you do this? And then, like, gradually I kind of stopped telling her as much. Yeah. So I was like, oh, well, you're just going to, like, shout it from the windows if I, like, tell you anything. And then I probably, like, started becoming more close with my dad.
Yeah.
Even though younger, like, me and my dad...
He might be telling his friends, though.
Yeah, I know. But my dad's a very sort of private person, I guess. Like he doesn't like people knowing his business, so I know that like he wouldn't really tell anyone anything. And when I was younger, like me and my dad didn't get on at all, because he thought I was like the troublemaker out of like the two of us, like me and my brother, and he's always like, she's up to no good. like because sort of like, because I had a kind of rebellious phase as a young child.
How old were you?
Like 13.
13?
Yeah.
What did your rebellious phase entail?
So basically we got these new neighbours, and one of them was like a year older than me.
Yeah.
And like my dad like was sort of like very aware that when I was hanging out with this new like neighbour friend, she was kind of like gradually like corrupting me. Like so we'd like go to like parks late at night, and like she smoked and I didn't smoke, and I started like wearing my hair in a sort of like rebellious like, all over my face, and like wearing like trendier clothes and stuff. Like my dad just didn't like it. Like he was like my little girl,
my little
like,
girl,
my little baby. But yeah. And we started hanging around with boys, and my dad didn't like that either. And we just sort of like were in a constant state of arguing and me being grounded. And like, although like it's kind of funny because like people always joke that I'm like such a like daddy's girl now, because like they're always like, yeah, you were grounded, but did you actually ever get grounded? Because it'd be like a sort of like, he'd lift the punishment after like an hour or something like that. Like, so, but yeah, and now I'd say that my relationship with my dad's probably better than it's ever been in my life since I moved away, because
was it moving away that kind of made it?
Yeah, because people say that like when you're too similar to someone, you kind of don't really get on very well. But then like me moving away, him realized like there was this like void in his heart. And now he's like he's really nice. Like my dad, like he acts like, when I was younger I used to see him as a sort of like very harsh like kind of dictator. But now I just like, I see him as a big softy sort of that like I have control over sometimes.
Regaining that control that you lost.
That I lost when I was younger, So, it was quite a good relationship with my parents generally.
That's nice.
My mum, like, as well, like, me and my dad kind of like bond over like laughing at her, I guess. It's kind of like mean, but it's like a sort of like
that's how the main bond between my siblings.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like what she went and done now sort of thing. Like my mum is she's very like she's recently like started like checking in everywhere and stuff like that, and like she's just like they're just laughing at her. It's just such good banter all the time. Like, it's kind of mean, but it's like we don't mean it in a mean way. It's
well
like said with
intentioned.
love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah.
Talking a bit more about high school, what was kind of your experience through high school? Was it generally positive or negative, or what was kind of your takeaway from those years?
I kind of changed like a lot during high school. When I was younger, first year of high school, I was very like competent and like positive and very sort of like I think what played a big part in me being that was like my mum and dad were very sort of like they wanted me to be involved in everything. Like my mum had me go to like dance classes and drama classes and like things like that, because I was kind of shy. As like they wanted me to come out my shell because my brother had done like all my talking for me sort of thing. So they like made a big effort to push that. And I think it really helped. It was really good because it was like a really nice way of like meeting people and feeling like a sort of like having something to do and stuff like that. So I was really confident from like first year, and then gradually like I would say like maybe a couple of years later, so like third year, I started like sort of putting a lot of pressure on myself, which is like kind of. I think it came mostly from my brother, which is kind of stuff hard sometimes. Yeah. And then also like I started like at my school there was a real like kind of push for you to be really good at something like, and I didn't ever think I really was. Yeah. So I kind of like had this sort of like I'm really stressed and I really need to like pass all of these exams and kind of things, and I kind of like I lost all the confidence that I gained from like outdoor like extracurricular activities and things like that. And then
because you kind of stopped doing them, or
or
like just other things came to the forefront of your mind.
I stopped doing them. I used to like I was actually really scared that like people would tease me for them because really? One of the things I used to be really like talented at Highland dancing, so with the like the kilt and everything, and I used to kind of find it like a bit like I would be teased for it. So and then also when the sort of like academic pressure came more, I was sort of like I don't have time to do this anymore, and I want to do really well and I want to like prove myself and things like that. So I just kind of gradually stopped it, which was like a really big mistake in hindsight because it was a really stressful time. And I used to like play like musical instruments and stuff, and I kind of just stopped all that because I kind of put all this pressure on myself.
What instrument did you play?
I played the keyboard and the bass guitar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Do you still know it? Like, could you pick it up?
I can still play like keyboard pretty well. Yeah. And yeah, I could probably still play, but I haven't touched it in a long time. I need to get back into that. Summer plans. Yay. But yeah, and then so like the way the sort of like UK system works is like third year till like fifth year of high school is like really intense exams. It's sort of like start, and then in like fifth year we have our exams that like help us get into university. So like it was sort of like a really intense 2 year of like pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself. So it was difficult. But I ended up like doing really well and coming out of it fairly unscathed. And then I like it was really nice because like I kind of like proved myself that I could get there, and then I began to believe in myself more, and all of that kind of confidence kind of came back, because in my last year of high school I kind of took all my kind of academic pressure off because I'd already like got the grades really to get into university. So I did a lot of more like kind of like vocational things, and I was head girl at my school, which was pretty nice. So yeah, I kind of had a kind of change, and it was good. It was really, really
How do you navigate like academic stress in uni then? Do you find yourself doing similar things that you did in high school, or have you found a different way to kind of
combat it?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say that I've learned to kind of manage it. I still get stressed out,
Yeah.
like, a lot, but I've realised that, like, I've taken about 1 million exams and I'm, like, done 1 million essays now, and it's sort of, like, a thing that I'm like, oh, well, I'm used to this now, so it's kind of different. I'm not really, like, I'd say that I've never really been calm about it, but I'm not, like, the way I used to be in high school. Like, high school, I was, like, a nervous wreck all the time, and it was kind of, it's kind of, like, it was a really difficult stage in my life, because, like, I mean, there was, like, a lot of other problems that the sort of, like, academic stress brought. Like, I had this, like, I mean, I got a lot of the pressure from my brother, but I had this boyfriend as well who put a lot of pressure on me all the time.
Oh.
And, I started doing things that were, like, sort of, like, not really healthy for myself, really. Like, I was too stressed to, like, do kind of normal human being things, like eat and sleep and things like that, and it was a really, really hard time.
Yeah.
I managed to overcome it pretty well, so.
Yeah. Kind of transitioning more towards uni, what led you to St. Andrews? How did you get here?
Ooh, so, yeah, there's a story. So I applied for, like, quite a lot of universities. I just kind of applied to St. Andrews on a whim. I didn't think I'd actually get in. Yeah. But then, because I didn't really believe in myself that I was going to get in, but then I did get in. And then it was kind of funny, because, like, my brother and I were receiving our, like, offers at the same time. Yeah. And Lewis applied to St. Andrews, and he didn't get in. But he had, like, a lot better grades than me. So it was kind of like a sort of like a shock, like a kind of like, what? Like, why did I get in there and you
What
didn't?
Did he apply for here?
Physics as well. It's really hard to get into, but I think the way he kind of fell short was in this sort of, like, personal statement thing. Like, he had all the academic grades, like, as high as you could get at school, and still didn't get in. So I was sort of like, like, a new place where I could, like, start a fresh life away from a twin. It was, like, very enticing. And then I visited with my mum, and I just, like, kind of fell in love with the place, sort of. And I, like, originally I didn't think it was really, like, feasible to go to, because I was like, well, like, in Scotland, like, I would have been able to probably, like, live at home and, like, have, like, and just, like, go to Glasgow University and not really pay anything. So I was like, well, like, is it really, like,
financially,
financially, do I want to move away and stuff? And then, like, my grandparents, actually, they really sort of, like, encouraged, like, mine and my brother's education. It was really sweet, and they, like, paid for, like, all my, like, first year, like, tuition halls, which is, like, so sweet of them. So that was, like, a big part, and, like, kind of, like, my mum said, like, you can do this if you want, like, you can go there, and, like, I went to the open day, and I just looked around, like, the streets, and just, like, fell in love with it, and just saw myself here, which is, like, weird.
No, that's so true, though.
Like, and just, I really liked being close to the beach, and it was just so different from anything else I'd ever seen, like, being, like, I just, as well, like, I kind of liked the fact that it was, like, such a small community rather than, like, a big place where, like, people don't really know you that well, and I liked the fact that, like, you could really get to know people, and just, I liked the sort of, like, my brother, it was really funny, he, like, when he came to visit in first year, he, like, kind of described it as a boarding school experience, because it's, like, in halls and having a roommate and stuff like that.
Yeah, Glasgow was quite
like,
different.
It was very, very different. And I really liked that. And I'm not really the type of person that relies on a big city. Like, sort of. Like, I really liked the fact that it was so remote and stuff. So yeah, that played a part. I guess the course as well. Like.
Yeah, why did you choose Spanish, especially after doing more sciencey?
Well, like, I kind of at the end of school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was very sort of like. Really uncertain, and I applied to a lot of like sciencey courses as well. Like half I was like such a mess, because like half of my courses were like very science driven, and then half of them were like kind of language and like business and sort of like that sort of stuff. And I think what happened was I went to like universities to see science courses in Scotland, and it just looked so like dry and boring, and also I was really disheartened because like in my last year at school I had a chemistry teacher who like she didn't really like me very much, and I really liked chemistry and it was like my thing, and it was I was like really good at it, and I was just sort of put off by her, so I was like, I don't want to end up like you, like so it's really mean, but like I was just sort of like maybe I'd prefer to do something kind of like less like sciencey, and I really liked languages at school. Like at school, like I wasn't particularly gifted at anything, but I was like very sort of like very good at sciences and very good at languages, so I was like, well, it has to be one of them. And then I didn't actually apply to here for any science courses, which was kind of funny. But, and then after seeing St Andrews, I'd already applied for Spanish here, and I just sort of thought, well, yeah, it could be fun. Originally, though, I was doing management here, actually.
You're able, it's quite flexible in the first 2 years.
Yeah. So
you can kind of go or set yourself up to go a lot of different ways.
Yeah, so it was nice. And I find languages really like fascinating. It's so cheesy, but I actually really do. Like I think it's so nice to be able to go somewhere and communicate with people, and it's so interesting to me.
I agree.
Yeah. So
in what ways do you think you fit into St Andrews, and in what ways don't you feel you fit in?
I don't think I fit into St Andrews at all, really.
Oh really? Why do you say that?
I guess in some ways like I fit in because I enjoy my degree, but I don't think I fit in necessarily with the kind of social dynamics, really.
Yeah.
I really like St Andrews and stuff, but like in terms of like, there was this like sort of a reason why I don't think I fit in very much, and it's because like in halls, like I always felt like I was kind of a fish out of water, because like everyone was so like either like from like very like different places in America or like from England, or, like no one was actually from Scotland, so I sort of felt like it was a bit of a strange thing to like be here and be Scottish but not actually have very many people that were Scottish around me. So that was kind of like and people would like make fun of my accent and stuff in halls a lot, and I always felt like the kind of like ruffian from like Glasgow and stuff, and I guess like that kind of made me feel like I didn't really belong, even though I really like loved the place and stuff, and I thought St Andrews is very different from like all over Scotland though, obviously, and then also I think that like I maybe sort of fit into like the sort of I like the social life at St Andrews, but I don't think it's like really like what I would have expected it to be, I guess. I really like the like societies and everything like that, but I don't think there's like a society that's like niche to me. You
like
know what I mean?
For you, yeah.
Like I mean, there's ones that like I really enjoy. Like I really enjoyed like a lot of sport and a lot of like music and things like that, but I didn't really find like my place, if you know what I mean. But
I mean, you also still have a year.
I know, to find that.
Maybe next year.
Maybe I'll find it. Yeah, maybe I'll just start my own society and call it like the Emily Society, and anyone can join. We'll see.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I'd say that like I'd never really fitted in a sort of like I was in a lot of friend groups. And like I'd say that I get on with all of them really well, but I'd say that no one was really like me. Like, and also, like, it kind of, I had my year in Spain, and, like, coming back, like, it kind of, like, it distances you from them a bit, but, like, it kind of felt like I was always, like, on the outskirts, but never really, like, in the centre because of, like, being away and coming back and stuff like that.
I was going to ask you, how do you think, or just talk about your year abroad, but how do you think going abroad changed the way you view St Andrews, or
well,
or where'd you go?
I went to Madrid, so again a huge city, like so different from St Andrews. I kind of like, there was a lot of points where I was really thankful to be in a different place and have like a kind of busy life again, and like just do something different really and be away from studying for a while. But then there was a lot of times where I felt like I was missing out, like look at, like I would see all these like pictures and like events and be invited to them and like just be like, oh, I want to be there so badly, and like it was kind of hard. Like there was a lot of times where I'd be like in my room really sad and just like thinking about St Andrews and wanting to go back, and just, which is really strange because like I guess I should have been making the most of Spain.
You can't help what you feel.
Yeah. And I visited quite a lot. I came back to St Andrews like twice, and I just it made me realize like how much I missed it and how much I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And like, because I didn't really appreciate it much in first and second year because you're just here all the time.
Yeah.
But then like seeing people's faces and seeing like just being involved in things and just like, I don't know, I think there's something really like special about St Andrews that like is just like, I mean, I think because it's like where I've studied and stuff, I'm always going to kind of hold it as like a kind of little sacred like haven, even though sometimes I feel like climbing the walls.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very
That's so true. That's a great description of it, for sure.
Climbing the walls. I would think I will be by next year. And it's like so emotional that like everyone this year is like leaving, and
because your year abroad was teaching, so you still have like this your fifth year is next year.
So it's like I have fourth year next year dissertation and all
but
that.
But it's been past 5.
So it's been 5, which is it's kind of daunting, but it's I don't know.
What are you like? What are you looking forward to about that situation next year, and then what are you kind of afraid about regarding?
I'm looking forward to like not going into the real world for an extra year, but like I'm gonna miss everyone so much, and I'm really anxious about not like finding like a group of friends again, so I'm really scared about that. I feel like I'm probably just gonna become a hermit or something like that. But no, I mean I've made a lot of effort this year to kind of like reach out and like bond with people doing languages, and I'm in the cross country society, so I was like trying to bond with people like that, and which is I think it's gonna be very different, but I don't think it's gonna be like bad,
like tragic.
Like, tragic. Like I mean I'm really like sad to see everyone go, and I made some absolutely amazing friends here and stuff. And it's sad, but I mean it's a new chapter. So we'll
exactly.
See. Yeah.
Talking about new chapters. What a segue. What do you kind of see for yourself in the future?
In the future? Like in like the long term future, or like
tomorrow? However, what are you doing tomorrow? I mean, presumably long term future. It can be as imaginative as you want. We can take it anywhere.
Like as in like a kind of career, or like where I want to live, or like.
Some people have talked career. Other people have talked like a lifestyle they want. It's really all over the board.
Well, like in terms of like a kind of lifestyle thing, like my biggest thing is I want to like kind of like, so like when I was younger, like I kind of like, like I want to sort of like try and believe that I can do things more, because I mean it's been this kind of battle of like not thinking I was actually capable of something when like I am capable of it. So I just like like to continue living that way. And, I have this like it's kind of funny. I have this like little like sign in my room that my dad gave me when I finished my like 5th year exams, and it says believe. So like I want to live by that and believe in myself more, and just try and like show myself that I'm very capable of reaching my potential. In terms of like career and stuff like that, I don't really know what I want to do, which is just kind of a bit scary, but I have another year to think about it, so I'm not panicking yet. I don't know, I want to do something that's like helping people, like I really want to like think about like just doing something to make the world a better place. Which I quite like. I think that I already do that and like add in a lot of ways, but I want to just like make every sort of like little thing I do like sort of like helping the world. So
how do you feel like you do that now, or like in what ways you do it?
I just
like small interactions, like just not
like anything drastic. I like to try and think that I give good give advice to people, like good
Yeah.
advice. And I like trying to uplift people's spirits and things like that. And yeah, I don't know. I just like just in like little things like I really like kind of helping people and stuff. So I want to kind of focus my life around that. Which
no, that's
yeah.
great.
So.
I haven't asked this question yet, but I randomly remembered I wrote it down, and I was like, oh, I should ask this. What's something that hasn't happened in your life yet that you want to happen?
That I want to happen. Like
it's like along the same lines, but it could be like bucket list type thing, or an experience you want, or it could be like as concrete or imaginative.
That's quite a question.
So I'm testing it out, so I might not ask it again.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there are a lot of things that I want like to kind of like do in my life.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like really like climb Everest or anything like
no.
There's nothing that's really like a long term goal. I don't know. I guess. I think, like, I'd like to sort of like have like personally challenge myself in a lot more ways.
Yeah.
Through whether that's through like academics or like just in a sort of like vocational way. Like, I think I need to be more sort of proactive in like joining things and stuff like that. So I guess that's sort of a goal. It's not really anything specific, but
that's fine.
Yeah. Trying to think.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Okay. So I only have a couple more questions left, but they're a little bit more like on the reflective side, that kind of thing. But what's something, the kind of hardest thing you've had to overcome, or something you're still working on overcoming?
I'd probably say it was like confidence still. Like, even though like I've definitely like came far, I think that it's still something that I really need to work on, I guess. Even like I'm still very sort of, I'd say I'm a lot more confident than I used to be, but I wouldn't say I'm like very up there. Like, I still think I need to do some things that push me out of my comfort zone a bit, which, I mean, hopefully that'll come in later life. I mean, I like managed to like sort of gain a lot more when I was abroad, because it was like a very sort of scary
like
experience, and like I didn't know anyone, and I was alone pretty much, because like no one from St Andrews was anywhere near Madrid, and like I was the only one there.
Oh really?
And I was the only like Scottish person in my school, and like everyone else was from like very, very different places. So that like was quite a big thing for me. But I'd like to do more things like that, because I think it was really personally rewarding. So I don't know really what that entails yet, but I mean, that's like what the goal is kind of challenge myself in that way, I guess. I guess that'll come with like moving away from St Andrews when that happens next year. But yeah,
I always kind of think of that. I'm always, because like you get so comfortable, especially it's so easy to get comfortable in St Andrews, because it's so small and like but what is going to be revealed about myself when I leave? I'm like, what's what's
actually
like, I feel like I won't know how I've changed until
I feel like St Andrews is kind of like a limbo state, like, because you're in this like kind of like little like claustrophobic environment that like can make you like come out your shell as a person, but also like when you come into it's very safe and it's very sheltered. And it's even more sheltered than the place that I grew up, when I thought that was the most sheltered that like anything could be. But then like I guess when you go into the real world, you're gonna be like, wow, like you're gonna just really see how sheltered St Andrews was. And I think that like it'll do people like myself a lot of good, I guess.
Do you take any positives from that sheltered environment though?
Here or like
or just in general?
Yeah, like I think it's a nice place, and like it's a nice place to be in, like kind of like in a kind of metaphorical sense as well as physical, like because you're so like you're just used to everything being so easy, and like friends, like you just meet friends so easily here, and it's almost actually like I would say in a way it's kind of it's a bit false, because it's like you're kind of forced to interact with people you would normally never interact with, and I think there's also that's positives, because it's like it's easy, but also a lot of negatives come with that as well, because like really like if you're placed beside someone and you're like halls, how like what's the actual chances you're going to be very like the same, and like
or
able,
like in an apartment complex, the people next door most likely not going to be your best friends or something.
Exactly. So it's like it's challenging in that way to sort of find your people, if you know what I mean, but and
it's also like, because there are so few things to worry about here. I mean, I guess this would be maybe a positive I was thinking about. Like, there's so few things to worry about here that you do get to focus on more yourself. But it is kind of like a falsely selfish environment you live in.
And there's a lot of people who I've spoken to who go here who tell me that, like, I'm only friends with my friends because I was living with them in halls. Like, they're not actually like me at all. And it's like, well, I mean, when you think about it, the chances of you actually finding your people, like, I mean, I still might not have found my people in St. Andrews, if you know what I mean, but I mean, I think I have. Hopefully I have. I mean, I like the people I interact with, but like, I mean, so it's interesting, and it's like a completely different experience from all of my friends back home. Like, it's so different. They're not friends with anyone that's really like in their like university, and I think that's a really nice thing about St. Andrews. Like, it's so nice how everyone can be friends. And
it is like a very
it's not like friends
vibe
that are just solely based on your course. Like, and obviously the things that the societies do are great. Like, such a nice way of making people feel involved and things. But again, it brings worries when you think what's going to happen when we have to leave this little like sacred bubble. But so it's interesting.
What do you take with you? Oh, no, that's a weird way of phrasing the question. I'll just go back to how I actually phrase it. Like, what's your value system? What kind of things or principles guide your life? So what would you take with you when you leave these kind of safe spaces in order to still be yourself?
Recently, it's kind of changed. Like, recently what I think is the best value system to have is like obviously believe in yourself and also like do what makes you happy. Like, because in the past I'd be very sort of like focusing on things that like were not going to make me happy long term. And now I'd realize that it's better to just kind of put all the pressure off and just do what makes you happy and keep yourself calm. And obviously, like, my mom like feeds me this statement like every day, and she's always like, your health is your wealth. I'm like, okay mom.
Such a mom thing
to
say,
So she I think that like I don't, for my life, like, all I kind of want is just to kind of be like, I don't want lots of money, I don't want lots of like be really popular. I just want to be happy. Like, and I think there's many ways in everyone's like individual life that can make you happy. Like, some people it might be a certain person or a certain place or a certain like thing to do. For me, I think it's just like people and like friends and just doing things that really make you happy. But
talking a bit more about that, what's kind of one relationship, be it familial, platonic, romantic, whatever, that you think has been kind of the most formative for you as a person, or taught you the most about yourself or something in your world around you?
I think for me, I have a few, like, I don't think I could really pinpoint one particular one that was really like
that's
profound.
The one.
But for me, I'd say that a lot of people have shaped the kind of way I deal with things and the way I like my kind of attitude towards things. Like, one particular person that I really, really admire is like, my dad has a kind of like side to his personality that is very sort of like resilient, I guess. Like, it's very sort of like, no matter what life is throwing at him, he always like just gets his head down and just like pushes through. Like, even if things are like so tough, he's always just kind of like battle through. Like, and that's like, I think that's a really good quality to have. Like,
it's tough too.
Yeah, it's very, very tough. But like, for me, like, I think sometimes like being so like, I'm not really like this anymore, but like sometimes like being so emotional can be like a real weakness. And my dad like is sort of like a person that's just sort of, he deals with things really well. Like,
do you think it's kind of like you have to be an extreme, or do you want to or is it more about finding the balance between that kind of like emotion and resilience?
I think it's good. I don't think most people can be like my dad and like just turn off like and just get through things. But I think like you have to find like a medium that will like help you through, if that makes sense. For me, because I know for me, like I'm never gonna be like not completely like you just get through, like, emotionless and just get through. But like seeing him do that like makes me very sort of like want to be like more like that, and that is something that's really helped me like in the past.
Why do you think being emotional is a weakness to you?
'Cause I think emotion sometimes can be sort of connected to like worrying too much. Like I my gran, sadly she's not here anymore, but she would always describe me as someone who just worried all the time. Like, and I'm not really like that anymore, but I used to be like such a warrior. Yeah. And like now, just from like learning from my dad, I kind of like rationalize things and kind of like
like take a step back from the emotions.
Take a step back from the emotions and realize that like it's not going to be that bad. Like it's at the end of the day, it's just a silly little thing in the grand scheme of life. Yeah. And like that's a quality I really, really admire in him, and I see a lot of that in my brother as well. And my brother is very sort of like that as well. He's always like telling me to stay calm and like he's like, it's not gonna be that bad, you'll be fine, it's gonna be great. And like he's always like that, and I think like both of them have really helped me like kind of stop worrying and calm. And I think that's like a really good quality to have, to just kind of like realize that like my dad as well, like if he never like when I was younger again, like he'd always like try and like break down tasks for me, because I'd always see like I don't know, like something huge, like it could be like mountain, it could just be something stupid like my math homework. I would see it like a mountain, like. And my dad would use a really funny analogy that like still cracks me up because it's so weird, and it's like he's like, so if someone told you to eat an elephant, how would you eat an elephant? And I'd be like, I don't want to eat an elephant. But like my dad would be like, you'd have to do it piece by piece, like tiny little pieces. And I'm like, that's like a really good way to like deal with something, like deal with a big problem, like just kind of like break it down and like
that's so true, not letting it get inflated in your head.
Because I would always blow up things so much, and now I'm just and
then you get too stressed to even begin because you're like, oh, where do I begin?
It's huge, like I'm facing a huge mountain here, so I think that's really, really important. And I guess there's like a lot of like sort of people that are just like really like inspirational friends, I guess. One is Sam. He's someone that like I really look up to. I think he's got such a like bright, like funny, like outlook on life. I love it, because like sometimes I can be way too serious, and like he could just like it's hard to describe, like just like his voice, the way he says things, you're just like, oh. And like he's really funny, because like he worries a lot, but like he'll like make me not worry, and it's kind of funny because it's ironic, because it's like it's coming from you who worries a lot, telling me not to worry. So it's like and he's just like, when I met him like ages ago in like Macintosh, from the minute I met him, I just sort of went, he's a really interesting, like in a good way, like sort of like person that sticks out from the crowd, and like I don't know, just like leads life in a good way. And I just always thought that he's like someone that's just so different from anyone else I've ever met, and in a really good way, like in a really inspiring way. Like he's really motivated and stuff, and that just really inspires me.
I guess I just have one last question, but we can talk about anything else, or just like
Mhm.
if there's something huge in your life that we missed.
Yeah.
But what's the biggest lesson you've learned from your life so far?
It's I've kind of said something quite similar, I think, but it's probably just to like my biggest lesson in my life probably is to put myself first. Like, because I'm someone that like in the past would always sort of like, I guess this is sort of similar to my mum, and I can't believe I'm saying this because we're so different, but like some like trying too hard to please other people, to like going to like extreme lengths like in any way to make someone else happy when you really should be thinking about yourself. And it sounds kind of selfish, and I mean, I guess it's a really sort of,
I mean, technically that's the term that fits, but it has a negative connotation.
Yeah, but I think that's the most important thing in like I've ever learned. Because I've had like a lot of experiences where I'd go to like a lot of like efforts to make a friend happy when it so much so that it would be detrimental to me. And that's not good. Like, I mean, I think it sounds selfish to put yourself first, but I think it's the most important thing for you. Like,
also, it's hard to really help be there for others if you aren't really there for yourself first.
Yeah, and just sort of like, I guess another thing as well for me is like, don't be so harsh on myself. Like that, like, because I'm really, really like unnecessarily, I'm my worst critic and unnecessarily harsh on myself. And I guess it's a good thing because it makes you really driven and motivated, and you want the best for yourself. But at the same time, it can be very sort of destructive in a sense, because it's like cut yourself some slack. But yeah, I guess those two things are really,
afford yourself the luxuries you give to other people too.
Yeah, definitely. And I've learned from too many experiences with like, I don't know, friends or just like people, like just to sort of like, it's okay to put yourself first sometimes, and sometimes you really need to. And I guess like my year in Spain really taught me that, because I was like defending from as like the only person there, like for a long time before I met like enough friends and things. I was sort of like, I need to think about me here, which is something I'd never really had to do at any point in my life. Like, I'd just always be very sort of like worrying about what people would think, or weren't like sort of like
what
that.
they needed.
So I think that's a really important lesson.
It is.
Yeah.
Those are all my questions. But is there anything like big that we? I mean, I'm sure there's tons of stuff we missed, but or a topic you wanted to talk about.
I'm trying to think really. I guess I didn't really talk about like kind of like me as a teenager, I guess. Kind of, yeah, but
teenager Emily.
So I was very like kind of a very stroppy teenager, I guess. I was like, when I was probably maybe like 15, sort of, me and my brother just did not get on at all. Like, it wasn't even like the kind of like physical fighting sort of, it was like very like emotional, like like argumentative, like
what about just like silly things or
everything, like absolutely everything. Like, he was very sort of like my brother's always been a very rational person, and I was just not rational, like completely irrational. Like, I'd get so stressed about things, and I'd come in and I'd like I was completely like not tolerate, like able to be tolerated by him. Like, we would just be like not be able to be around each other. And like, I'm so thankful that I finally like saw the light and like was like changed, because like honestly, like we've had such a bad relationship, which is like obviously what you don't want. Your closest person that you shared a womb with, like so, and he would just like, I was a big drama queen as well. Like, I'd come in from school and I'd be like, Mom, I've like failed my maths test, like I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna like, and he would just be like, you've not failed. You're crying about nothing. Shut up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, so it was just like a complete, like, we just saw the world in completely different ways. And he actually, like, when I was younger, like, when I was, like, maybe about 14 or 15, he would always call me fat. And it was, like, this sort of thing that was, like, it really affected me. Like, I didn't think it did much at the time, but it was, like, a big thing. And it's sort of, like, it made me, like, just see everything differently, and I'd always think it. And he actually, like, a couple of years ago, I think it was maybe when I was in, like, first or second year at uni, he, like, phoned me up and he was, like, having a conversation. He's just like, I'm so sorry that I did that to you. Like, he was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't realise at the time, and I was just being stupid.
Yeah, like a stupid boyfriend.
And, like, it really made me think and, like, kind of get emotional a bit. Like, I was like, he's actually really a nice person. And now we're really, really close now, which is really nice. We have a really good relationship, I would say, and
that's great.
He's really lovely. And yeah, so that's really fun.
Nice. That's so wonderful.
Yeah. But I don't know if there's anything else I missed.
I'm sure there is. I always miss, like, what was it?
lot.
Yeah, I asked the question at the end of one of my other ones, and they're like, we haven't talked about friendship. And I was like, oh no! That's a huge part. But...
friendship. I guess I haven't really spoken about friendship.
Oh no, and I need to write a question about friendship.
What kind of question do you want on friendship?
I don't know, like... Do you see any difference between your friends from high school and uni? And what do you think that, like, says about you, I guess, or
very,
how you've
very
changed?
different. At school, I did not fit in with my group of friends at all. Like, I was very, very different from them. I was one of those people that kind of jumped around groups, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, a kind of floater, I guess. But, like, I'd always felt like I connected a lot better with my brother's friends than my actual friends.
Yeah.
Which is kind of... It was nice because it kind of gave me that option that I didn't really, like I could have two groups of friends. Girls in my school, I was not like them at all. Like, I was very sort of like, I had a completely different sense of humour from them. I was more like the boys, which is kind of funny. And they just were not really like me. I never really found my, like, group of, like, girl, like, besties or whatever that, like in school, which a lot of people did. But I had a really, like, close friend that was a boy at school called Sean, and he was, like, probably one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And I'm still good friends with him, like, not as close, but pretty good friends. And then from meeting new friends at uni, like, it was a completely different dynamic, because it was not like I had, like, a kind of, like, group of all girlfriends and group of all boyfriends and, like, those that, like, kind of interacted. It was very sort of a mixed bag of, and it was really nice because everyone was so different and, like, not from the same place and had a different story to tell about life. And yeah, it was good. I would say that, like, I don't really know what it shows about me, but I would say that, like, it kind of shows that I think I'm a person that can kind of get on with anyone. Yeah. But, like, to make a real connection, they have to be a very sort of, like, kind of not a certain person, but I have to see, like, traits, like, that, like, I particularly find appealing, I guess.
What traits are those? Like, what do you look for in a friend?
I look for, like, a sense of humour. I think it's so important. Yeah. I look for someone that cares as much about you as you care about them. I think that's really, really important. And someone that is just easy to talk to, that you can just tell them anything and they won't judge you or anything like that. And maybe just someone that's quite a, like, bright, like, positive looking person, I think. But yeah. And I think I've found quite a lot of friends here that are kind of fit those categories, which is really nice. But yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I think that's it.
I know, it's like there's so many wide topics you could cover.
I know, right? But thanks so much, Emily.